This video is sponsored by Phoenix Pharos cards. If you need supplies of singles or splits for Cardfight Vanguard, especially the ones in the video, do check out Phoenix Pharos cards today, and as a bonus, use the promo code MetaNerd to get an amazing 5% discount. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the MetaNerd channel. I am Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard Overdress. In this video, we will be going through the major support that Dragon Empire actually received in DBT09, in particularly Nirvana, Jiva, Basagra, as well as Eugene. These three are the main ones being supported, although we do actually have like some of the generic supports within this nation that could prove useful. Well, maybe not now, but probably in the future. Without further ado, let's take a look at the cards. First off, we have Flame Knight of Green Scale Steidle. Continuous frontal rearguard circle. If your Vanguard was not attacked this turn, all of your rearguards cannot be hit. So this card is very simple. It's just one of the ways for you to sort of protect your rearguards from basically support that could attack multiple units. For example, Earner's Correct as well as Leonard. So it's a very niche card to basically help protect your rearguards, and it basically forces the first attack of the opponent has to attack the Vanguard. So it's actually a very handy tag in, but then again, Dragon Empire does not really have rearguards that they must protect. But who knows? In the current meta, there's not much use for this as of yet, but who knows? In the future, that just might change. Next is Winged Dragon Pathamptero or something. Auto Rearguard Circle. When this unit boosts, cost Soul Blast 1, choose one of the units this unit boosted, and until the end of turn, it gets Auto Vanguard Circle and Rearguard Circle. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. This, I think, is a very decent generic support. It basically supports anything. It's not restricted to even one of the right lines. This card makes anything that this unit boosts, be it on Vanguard or rearguard, when it attack hits, you're able to retire one at the cost of 1 soul. This is a very interesting card to basically board control your opponent, as well as apply a on-hit pressure, whether or not they want to take this damage or throw down hands to guard this attack. It's a very nice pressure unit. Any restander within that deck you decided to play with this card is able to get the full advantage, because even on restand, you still get the on-hit skill, which is quite disgusting. For example, Overlord. It's a very nice anti-aggro card, and I think you should pick this up, even if you're not playing this, because who knows, this card might just be really good. Next up, we have Desolate Spark Dragon. Auto Rearguard Circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you personal road, cost Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguard, retire it. This unit gets 5k power until the end of that battle. Your opponent choose 3 normal units from their drop zone, bind it. If your personal road is active, even if you activate personal right except on right phase. So it seems like every nation has this kind of support where the skill is only activate when you personal right. So it's basically a 25k attacker that retires a rearguard when attacked if you personal right, as well as bind stuff. Although it's quite late in activation because you need to wait the 4th turn, only then you're able to activate this skill. It's still okay, I would say. But then again, the problem comes for the bindings part of the skill. Binding as a general do not have a lot of value in standard as of yet. Of course, if you are binding your own stuff, then maybe Sojo Doji is able to take advantage of that. But binding your opponent's stuff does not really have value as of yet. Who knows, Wishuro might just introduce something like Narukami that basically get advantage for every card that you bind for the opponent, which is going to be real scary if you ask me. So in general, this card is not really that valuable as of yet, due to, you know, we do not really have stuff that basically take advantage of binding stuff. You could basically trap the opponent into binding like their important units, for example, Roaming Prison Dragon or Trickstar. So it's actually not that bad, but as a general, it's not really that worth it to run as of yet. But it is advisable to basically get this card just in case. Moving on to Nirvana Jiva support, we have Sword Equipped Dragon Chaizaun. Although when this card is discarded from hand during your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Nirvana in its card name, cost Counter Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1. Choose a card with Nirvana in its card name from your drop and put it into your hand. So basically, this card is supporting both Nirvana. Maha Nirvana or Nirvana Jiva, yeah, this card is supporting both of them. It only says Nirvana here, so which is actually not that bad. You could still choose to play Overdress, or you could choose to play Crossover Dress, or you can play a Hybrid Overdress, which Bushi wants Nirvana players to go into that route. This card actually does not really minus from the hand, because you are going to discard anyway for Nirvana skill, both of them. I mean, all of them. This card allows you to recycle one of the Virina back to hand from the drop is actually very nice. You can recycle like Virina Arcus for the double draw, or you can just go for one of the big hitters, for example Esperadia, Expecta, or Valiente. All of the Virinas are actually viable, but you should depends on what situation you are in, because the Virina that you choose might just change the tide of the match. So very nice decision making there, but still the only downside to this card is the counterblast one. I mean, Virina at this moment does not have counter charge, so it's going to be a problem. As we go further down the support list, I'm telling you, the counterblast is going to be an issue. Next is a normal order card, Clad in Prayer. Play this if you have a Vanguard with Nirvana in its card name and one or more units each in the overdress state as well as the cross overdress state. The actual ability is that choose one of your units in overdress state. It gets auto rearguard once per turn. When your Vanguard attacks, stand this unit until the end of turn. Choose one of your units in the cross overdress state and it gets 10k power until the end of turn. So this order card I think is the big thing that is going for Nirvana, because this basically tells you that Bushiroad wants you to go into playing a hybrid deck between overdress as well as cross overdress. But to be honest, this card actually feels more like a trap more than anything, because you need to play a lot of stuff just to play this combo. I mean, don't get me wrong, the combo is deadly, but the problem here is that consistency. You don't really get a lot of consistency in terms of the support cards that Dragon Empire actually gets. It is basically deck building hell, because you know, it is deck building hell, because there are so many good cards in Nirvana that actually do have a place within the deck. So it's going to be a headache in terms of deck building already, because you need to play overdress stuff, as if the current cross overdress stuff does not have a deck space issue. But if you manage to overcome the consistency issue, you are rewarded with a 5 attack to 6 attack Nirvana Jiva deck, which is going to be very scary if you ask me. So it's a very scary deck, but the problem here is that the consistency might be more bad than good. It's an interesting card to be played in Nirvana Jiva, but once again, consistency. You can prove me wrong by making the Nirvana with this order card the best consistency deck out there. Yeah, feel free to prove me wrong. The next card that we have is Pierce Equipped Dragon Halbados. It's a prayer dragon. Although when this unit is placed on rearguard circle from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Nirvana in its card name, cost Counterblast 1 and put a card with Virina in its card name from drop onto the bottom of the deck. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them with Virina in its card name, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If you did not reveal a card, countercharge 1. This card I think it's very good even in overdress, because this does help you recycle your much needed Virina back to the bottom of the deck, as well as search out potentially a very good Virina target. So it's a very nice, but the problem here is that it causes 1 counterblast. So you know, counterblast is a big issue. It does refunds you the counterblast. I would say it's a loss even if it does refund you the counterblast, because you know, if you don't get the Virina at the crucial moment, this card is just not great, because you are playing with RNG anyway. So might see play in terms of, you know, this card, but then again, space issues as well as counterblast, this mixture is not a pleasant one if you ask me. Next, for the triple R, we have Strike Equipped Dragon Stragallio, another prayer dragon. Although when this unit is placed on rearguard circle from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Nirvana in its card name, discard a card from hand, search your deck for up to 1 card with overdress ability or up to 1 Trickstar, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Second skill, auto, when this unit becomes an original dress, cost Counterblast 1, choose a Trickstar from your drop and call it to rearguard circle. So I mean, this is basically like the saving grace of the hybrid overdress and cross overdress deck. It's, you know, really good in terms of consistency boost, but is it going to be enough? That's still up for debate if you ask me, because this card basically does fish out your Trickstar from your deck, or you can just basically get any overdress units, which in terms of the cross overdress deck is actually a godsend, because you can directly search out the overdress unit from this one discard. But then again, it would be really great. It would actually be better if you can get both skills. Instead, you have to choose one. For me personally, I think you should be getting both instead of you have to choose one. Due to how bad the consistency is going to be for Nirvana Jiva, I feel like it should be rewarding the player with both skills instead of one. But you know, this is what we get. We're just gonna have to to work around it. So superior calling the additional 3-star for overdressing is definitely crucial if you have the setup with the normal order card to basically go for the 5 attack. You could potentially go with 6 attack if you do overdress into Valiente. So it's actually not that bad. It's just that once again, counterblast usage. You are going to burn through your counterblast like no tomorrow. So do be careful in terms of, you know, this combo. It's a very good card, don't get me wrong. It's just that, you know, the counterblast usage is just disgusting. Moving on to Basagra support, we have Break Seal Dragon, active Vanguard. If your Vanguard has an arms card, put this unit into your soul. Choose a Seal Blaze sword or Seal Blaze gun from your Vanguard circle, and until the end of turn, the cost of the original auto ability of that card is reduced by Counterblast 1. Finally, Counterblast 1 to activate both the gun as well as the sword. I just can't tell you how happy I am for Basagra to actually get this kind of support. It's just so good. For the longest time, the gun and the sword, I mean, the sword has more uses than the gun, but then again, I think we could finally see the gun being played together with this support. It basically gives you more incentive because both the gun and the sword does cost 2 counterblast. With this card reduce the counterblast cost to 1, I think it's very much manageable. And what's more, this card does actually provide soul, which Basagra actually wants, and I'm really happy that, you know, Basagra gets this kind of support. I really am happy for this kind of support that basically helps a certain boss unit to get better. And the last one, of course, it's basically just enables Basagra to be more threatening. I mean, with the ability to deal 1 damage as well as triple drive, yeah, Basagra is a beast. Next is the triple R for Basagra, Seal Blaze Dragon Kankshati. Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard circle from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Basagra in its card name, cost Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from hand, search your deck or drop for up to 1 arms card, reveal it and put it into your hand, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. Second skill active, Vanguard circle once per turn. Cost Counterblast 1 and put an arms card from Vanguard circle into soul. Draw a card and this unit gets power +5 until the end of turn. So more good stuff for Basagra overall. These 2 cards are just insane for Basagra. This card is basically helping you to recycle one of your arms or basically fish out whatever arms that you need from the deck to your hand. So with the combination of Break Seal Dragon, the card before this one, it's just stupidly good. It's just give you more incentives to play the gun and the sword once again, because after you use the gun and the sword, they basically go to the drop zone, so you will need to basically fetch them again the next turn. It's actually not that bad. For the second skill here, I think it's basically more towards for you to recycle the arms auto card on your Vanguard instead of just straight up replacing it. For example, the gun and the shield. The gun and the shield is actually the same side of Basagra. If you want to equip the gun, you basically have to discard the shield and then equip the gun, which will then be kind of wasteful because, you know, the shield is very strong. With this, you're able to recycle that arms card to the soul to basically get a draw out of it. Only then you equip the gun. It's actually very good in terms of, you know, resource management wise, although you do need 1 counterblaster to do this. But then again, since you will be able to countercharge with Trick Moon, I guess it's a-okay. Other than that, after this card was being called, and if you don't use the second skill, this card is basically just a 10k vanilla. Not that great, but it's actually one of the vital pieces for you to basically get more soul as well as recycle your arms order for a draw. Not that bad. Very much need a must play in Basagra deck. Next up for Eugene, we have Ricochet of Duststorm Hanadi. Although when this unit is placed on Vanguard circle from deck, this unit gets 10k power until the end of turn. I think this is without going to be one of the main targets to stack on top of the deck, because Eugene do have stuff that basically helps you stack whatever is in the drop to the top of the deck and then superior call with Eugene's skill, which is not bad. This support being able to hit for 20k is gonna be very disgusting, and you are able to hit for numbers. Yeah, this is just money. This is just money for Eugene. With an 8k booster, this girl with a gun is gonna be so stupid. It's going to be a very nice pickup for Eugene deck. Next up is the double R for Eugene, Hunting Artillery of Duststorm Firas. Although when this unit is placed on Vanguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Eugene in its card name, cost Counterblast 1 and discard a card from hand, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 normal order without Regali's piece, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Second skill, auto Vanguard once per turn. When your opponent's Vanguard is retired by your card's ability during your main phase, cost Soul Blast 1, stand this unit, and this unit gets boost until the end of turn. Yeah, I mean, the first skill is basically there for you to get Best Harvest, which is the only order card that Eugene wants to play. Because Best Harvest basically gives value in terms of the more you retire the opponent's rearguard, the more draws that you get. So it's actually a very, very nice consistency into getting this order. However, my concern here is that you are basically minusing 1, although I put it here 2 because I forgot that you are calling this one rearguard. So, but then again, you are minusing 1 to basically get that effect. So you will need to retire at least 2 rearguards for you to get +1. So if the opponent is at 1 rearguard, there's really no point for you to activate Best Harvest anyway. So it's a filter, don't get me wrong. It's a really nice filter, and you could just potentially wait until the opponent has more rearguards and then you play Best Harvest and just watch your hand grow. It's actually very, very good. The second skill of this unit is helping Eugene big time. Due to how awkward Eugene's skill is, you need to check whatever is in the top deck and then, you know, Superior call them. With this unit getting the boost as well as activate his skill on retire is actually very, very nice in terms of the flexibility of Eugene as well as mitigate Eugene's skill to retire. Because Eugene does have like this rest 2 to retire something and then get 10k skill. This I think will be the prime unit to choose to rest. It's just costs only 1 slow to restand. Very, very nice in terms of the whole Eugene support is shaping up to be. And that is all for this video. Do let me know down in the comment section on what do you think of the Dragon Empire major support. Do like and subscribe if you like this video, of course, during the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.